Good morning, students. Sai Ram. I hope you all are fine and start doing your case studies. In this chapter, we have already learned about the principles, its features, and its importance, and also the fuels principles of management. But now, today, in second part, we are going to learn about the scientific principles of management, which was given by the F.W. Taylor, Frederick Winslow Taylor. Okay, first of all, to understand the scientific management, let's understand that the word scientific management, that what is scientific management. It means the application of science for each and every element of management. For example, to apply scientific tools, methods in order to increase efficiency and output. Okay, now we are going to start scientific management. First of all, before starting all these principles, we have to understand the history of Professor Frederick Winslow Taylor. Okay, Frederick Winslow Taylor's lifespan is between 20th March 1856 to 21 March 1915, widely known as the F.W. Taylor, and he was a mechanical engineer who sought to improve industrial efficiency. He was also regarded as the father of scientific management and was one of the first management consultant. Now, let's start with the principles of management. These principles are divided into four categories. Number one is science, not a rule of thumb. Second, the development of each meant to his greater efficiency and proficiency. Next, cooperation, not individualism. And last one is division of labor between manager and workers. And it is also known as harmony, not discord. Let's start understanding these points one by one. And number one is science, not a rule of thumb. Okay, the first is science, not a rule of thumb. In this principle, Taylor wants to say that we should be constantly experimenting to develop new techniques which make the work much simple, easier and quicker. But in this rule of thumb, there is a dictatorship of manager. Means there is a word science, not a rule of thumb. Rule of thumb means there was a dictatorship of manager takes the all decision according to his will, uh, without thinking any consequences. But this principle says that we have to adopt new approach. The manager should think, observe before taking any decision. So this rule says that the manager should observe the situation and then take according to the situation of a problem or any conflict. Okay, science, not a rule of thumbs, or we can simply say that leave all the orthodox rules and let's start adopting modified rules for solving any situation, okay, or to face any situation or problem. Okay, now next is corporation, not individualism. It is a extension of principle harmony, not discord. Means there should be a feeling of cooperation between manager and worker. They should understand each and every problems of manager, and manager should also understand every problems of their workers, so that they will work together and start making a good relationship between them and achieve goal together, okay, and with unity. Now now the manager should also encourage people or employees to take initiative and move forward to give their ideas regarding their work, and the management also accept and respect their ideas so that they bring a good relationship between them, so that they work together with corporation and avoid individualism. Okay, now next is division of labor between manager. Yes, division of labor between manager and worker is principle is also known as harmony, not discord. According to this principle, those who work in an organization, those people must work in harmony, that is, with mutual give and take relationship and proper understanding. Like the better understanding and good relationship between the management and worker, so that they should work together in a same way and avoid discord, which means disputes. Okay, class, our one point is remaining, which is development of each and every person to his greater efficiency. Yes, this is that point. Okay, this principle says that at the time of appointing employees, the management should appoint only those employees who are having that skill, that efficiency, that qualification which is required for that particular place or job, so that a person do according to their efficiency, their skill, and also improve their efficiency, because he has to work regularly that one task. Okay, so that it improves his efficiency of doing any task. And the management also help employees by arranging seminars, give them training, and create workshops to develop each and every people to their greater efficiency and proficiency. Okay, let's take a review again of that point. This principle says that at the time of appointment, the management should keep its eye on that employee, that the only that employee should be placed on that place, vacant place, who has the quality, who has the skill which is required for that place. Okay, so that he will give their best result and prove his efficiency and proficiency. Okay, if a person appointed that place and prove his efficiency, then regular work which was given by the manager, then he start doing that work and repeat again and again, which also improves and greatest um, and also enhance their efficiency. Okay, the next point is corporation and individual, which we have already done, and division of labor also. Now techniques. Okay, techniques of scientific management. Number one is functional foremanship. Second is standardization and simplification of work. Third, method study. Fourth, differential piece weight system. Fifth, fatigue study. Next, time study, and last is motion study. Okay, let's review, or let's understand these points one by one. Okay, first one is functional foremanship. In this technique, Taylor wants to say that the worker of any organization should be divided into two groups or two departments, as you see in a picture: planning in charge and production in charge. Okay, the main reason behind this distribution is that both the departments, planning department workers and production department worker, focuses on their own department, only in their department, so that the production department workers are feel free from the burden of planning department, and same as in the planning department, people feel free on to avoid the burden of production department. Okay, and all the both the department works on the betterment of workers. Okay, now okay, now say Taylor says that to improve, to increase the workers' efficiency, there should be eight specialists which is required to appoint in these two departments. Four in charge, or we can say that foremen in production departments, and four in charge or specialist, or we can say foremen in production department. Okay, planning in charges, the foremen are divided into four categories. Number one is instruction card clerk, who give instruction how to do work, okay, to the workers. Next one is route clerk. Route clerk means who guide, who tell the workers the way, the process, step by step doing the task. Okay. Next is time and cost work. The time and cost clerk main aim, its main responsibility is to check the time interval of starting a time of doing a work and the finishing time of doing a work. Okay, its main responsibility is to calculate the starting time and the ending time, all the whole time which is involved in performing a task. And cost clerk, the time clerk is also maintain a cost sheet which explain the cost which is involved in a production. Okay, to observe the cost which is involved, which is put in the production of goods. Okay, now next one is discipliner. Discipliner means discipliner in charge, its main responsibility is to check the discipline in doing any task. Okay, so let's take a review of these four clerk. First of all, you all have to understand what is functional foremanship. Functional foremanship means dividing the people, dividing the worker into two departments, for and like in planning department, and in half workers in planning department and half in production department, so that they focuses on their particular areas, their particular departments. Okay, and feel free from the other areas. Now in planning department there are four types of specialist, and in production department there are also four type of specialist. Means in functional foremanship there are eight type of specialist, and all specialist, eight specialists are appointed to improve the efficiency of worker. Means they have work on the efficiency or improving the efficiency of workers. Okay, now in planning department there are four in charges. Number one is instruction card clerk, which main responsibility is to give instruction to the workers. Next, route clerk. Route clerk means to provide the way of doing a task. Okay, step by step doing the task to perform a activity. Next is time and cost clerk. Time and cost clerk means the time and cost clerk's main responsibility is to check the time which is consumed in a production, which take a employee, okay, or sorry, a worker. Okay, and time clerk is also maintain a cost sheet, which from which we get what is the cost of a production. Okay, the amount of money invested in a production. Okay, now next one is discipliner. Discipliner means its main responsibility is to check the discipline in the working environment. Okay, and during performing a job. Now in production department there are also four specialists who work on the workers efficiency and helps the workers to improve their efficiency. Number one is gang boss, second is repair boss, third is inspector, and fourth is speed boss. Now gang boss, its main responsibility is to arrange all the machine, all the tools at the place of working. Okay, so its main aim is its main work is to arrange the all working equipment, means make ready the working environment for the workers. Now next is repair box. Repair box main aim is to check the machine's tool whether it is a perfect or for doing a task or not. Okay, and it if there is any machine or any tool which is not perfect, which is not fit for doing any task, then it then he replace it or repair it for employees, for workers, so that he avoid any um, mishappening which is also caused by the unrepaired machine, okay, or broken machine or any broken tool. Now next one is inspector. Inspector means to inspect. Okay, this specialist check the quality of work, quality of product, quality of production. Okay, now next one is speed boss. Speed boss means speed boss is a specialist who check the speed of working for doing a particular production, okay, according to the time. So it also reduces the wastages of time. Okay, let's review again the in charges of production. Number one foreman is gang boss, who arrange, who make ready the working environment, machine and tools for the workers. Second, repair boss, his responsibility is to repair the machine and tool if they are broken. Or next is inspector, who inspect the quality of the work and product also. And last one is speed boss, whose main aim is to check the speed of workers of doing a task. Okay, I hope you all have understand functional foremanship. This is a very important topic. Okay, next technique is standardization and simplification of work. Okay, class, next technique is standardization and simplification. As you all already understood, the meaning of standardization means make and standard, and simplification means make it simple. Okay, let's understand again standardization. In this technique, Taylor wants to say that all the work should be in a standard in quality wise. Okay, and it is possible if we use modern techniques, equipments and methods and machine to use. Okay, this technique also says that the employee should be more focuses on on the products quality rather than the quantity. Okay, so standardization means to make the product standard, means the quality has to be improved. And there in this the standard the fixing of standard include shape, size and quality. Okay, next one is simplification. Simplification means to make the product very simple. Okay, and this is very helpful to carry a product. If the product is the packaging is very simple, then it is very helpful for a customer to use it, to carry it and take from one place to another. Okay, let's review again. It means simplification means to make the product simple, and simple means to eliminate unnecessary diversity of product, like in size, in type, which is also helps to reduce its cost and make easy to carry and identify. Okay, now next one is differential piece weight system. Piece weight system, this technique emphasizes on paying different rate of wages for efficient and inefficient employees, and its main motive is to motivate the employees to work efficiently. It is also proved as a power booster for the employees. Okay, means if the person do well, then pay more. If the person is not perform his duty well, then pay less. Okay, it also encourage the inefficient people to work more in a better way. Okay, now okay next is motion study, time study, fatigue study, method study. These all studies are come under the work study. Let's review again. Let's understand one by one. Number one is method study. Method study. The main objective of method study to choose the best method to doing a task. As you all understand what is a method. Method means to doing a task, the way of doing a task, the method which we use to perform any task. Okay, so what is the main aim behind to choose the method study for doing the method study? The main reason behind this technique is to minimize the production cost by using the best method to perform a job. And this study should be done at the time of planning. Okay, because when we set a plan, then all these points will also cover under the planning. Method study is one of these that point. Okay, let's review again. Method study means to adopt the best method which reduces the cost of production and maximize our profit. Now next one is work study. Work study, which means all the studies which involve fatigue study, method study, motion study. Okay, now next point is time study. Time study, this technique, this is one of the techniques, scientific technique, which is required to know the standard time for doing a task, for performing a job. After knowing the standard time, then setting up the standard target for workers and according to the standard time. Okay, and with the help of standard time, we all make difference between the efficient and inefficient worker, so that to fix that standard time, this time study is required. Okay, let's review again. What is time study? What is the main objective behind to set a time study? To observe the time study. The main objective behind the time study is to observe the time which is taken by the workers to perform a job, and after evaluating that all the time which they need, then time study is calculated by the average of the time taken by all the workers. Okay, so that they do their work efficiently and effectively. And it is also helpful to find out the efficient and inefficient worker, because if the time has been set by the management, then the work should be done according to that, into that particular time. If any person, any employee work under that time, that means it is a efficient person, efficient worker. But if a worker is unable to perform their job under this time, then it means that it is a inefficient person. Okay, so time study helps in that way. Next one is motion study. As you seen in the picture, motion study means which measure the movement of workers, means to evaluate the basic movement which are required, which are needed in an organization, and eliminate the unnecessary movement which are not required in an organization. Okay, let's take an example of a worker work. Okay, but he has to put down to take any tool. Okay, and he down again and again to take that tool. It also reduces his energy, means waste is his energy, waste his time. So the management or the um, employee should take a table and keep that tool on that cable, and do do or start doing that their work, so that it eliminate the unnecessary movement. And here unnecessary movement is to down again and again and take that tool. Okay, it also helps to save his energy and it's his time. Okay, so I hope you all have understand motion study is to eliminate the unnecessary movement and find out the and observe the necessary movement. Okay, now next is fatigue study. As you seen in a picture, a person is doing or perform his duty for a long period of time and he is not getting his interval during the time. He looks very tired. So fatigue study tell us that what is the time interval, what is the frequency of time interval during the work, and what is the rest interval during number of intervals during the work. And because if a person continuously work without rest, then he will be tired and less productive. But he is but if he is allowed to rest interval, and he will regain their stamina and work again, and also increase his efficiency during this time interval. So fatigue study is also important. Okay, why fatigue study is important? To understand the time period or the time gap, the rest time, or to evaluate the rest time during the long period of working. Okay, now next one is okay class. Okay class, last topic is mental revolution, which is closely related to the corporation, not individualism. Mental revolution means changing the attitude of management and also for workers. Like as we all know, in an organization, peoples are divided into two group. Management, first group is management and second one is labor or workers. And there always a continuously a conflict or a misunderstanding which is continuously running in their relationship. Means we can say that we have to we need to change our mentality. Okay, change our attitude, so that they generate the people who are working in an organization like management and worker, they generate the feeling of harmony, feeling feeling of corporation among them, so that they work together. Okay, mental revolution means changing the attitude of thinking, both for the management and for the labor also. Okay, labor or worker, labor or worker, like they they feel good and focuses on the objective of organization and leave it their individual interest. And management also focuses on their workers needs, and also trying to fulfill the demands of workers, means valid demands of workers, also give them good incentive, so that they feel motivated, and they willingly work for the organization. Okay, now this topic or this chapter has been finished. Okay class, there is some case studies which you have to solve. Okay, read it clearly. Now its answer is also there. Here is another case study, and its also answer is also there. Okay, class, thank you, Sairam. At last, I want to say that please stay at home, be safe, concentrate on your studies. Okay, Sairam.